APK release version. Hello, everyone. So we're going to speak about the APK release version in this video. On the last one, we finished our application. Our application is ready to publish. You probably tinkered around with it. I'm glad you did. But before we publish our application to Google Play, we need to learn something about the application release version. So it is an important part because your application will be published according to this APK release version. So in this part, there are two parameters. The first one is version code, and the second one is version name. Version code is a positive integer value that starts from 1 to this number. And this is, of course, an important value because when you publish your application on Google Play will take this number as a reference code. So when you update your application, Google Play will check this number. Now, it has to be a bigger number from the previous version. So, for example, if you define this value as 1, first time you publish it, you will have to define at least 2 when you update your application. So every update, you will need to increase this number. So if you give a smaller value to the update, Google Play will not accept your application as an updated version, right? So version code is, well, exactly as stated for Google Play. Version name is a string value that we will show to the users. So when you update your application, users will see this value and they will know which version of the application that they will be using. For example, you define this value in the first time you published it, right? Version, let's call it 1.0. And when you update your application, you can define this number, version 2.0. So when the users see the update in their device, they will know that this is version 2.0, and then they can decide to update the application or not. Now, in every update, you can define a new string for this value. This value is not important for Google Play. This is between you and the users. That's the difference, right? So why don't we go ahead to Android Studio and see how to make these changes. So if we have a project in Android Studio, we will see how to define these values for this project. So you see here, there is a Gradle scripts section. Now under this section, there is build Gradle module app file. And I'm going to open this file. And in this file, you can see the previous version code and version name. Version code is an integer value and 1. If we generate APK file using this number 1 and publish it to Google Play will remember this number. So when you update your application, Google Play will check this number, and if it is the same or smaller from the previous number, Google Play will not accept your updated APK file. So this is the version name, and it's a string value. It is written between the quotation marks. So now it's 1.0. So when we publish this application, that's what the users see, this value. And when we update this application, users will see the new value that we've changed it to. Okay, so that's about that. How do we change the values? That's what you want to know. So check it out. If I delete this number and write in a different number, a Sync Now button appears. So when I click this button, Android Studio will change this number. That's pretty cool. So we learned how to change the APK version in this video. See you in the next one. Building APK files. All right, so hello everyone. We will learn how to generate a signed APK file. We need a signed APK file if we want to upload and publish to Google Play, right? So let's go to Android Studio and see how to do it. So, of course, we finished our project in Android Studio, and in that last video, we mentioned the version code. So now we just need to create an APK file so that we can publish it to Google Play. And I'll just go to the Build menu and click Generate Signed APK Bundle. When I click it, a new window opens. So in this window, there are two options. First one is Android App Bundle, and the second one is APK file. So the Android App Bundle is a new version of Android APK. If you use Bundle, your APK file size can be smaller, but it only works on Google Play. So it's a new feature. If you want to use it, of course you can use it. If you want to learn more about it, you can just search for it on the internet. The procedure is the same. So, all right, I'll show you the bundle first. I will select Bundle and click Next. And in the next section, first you just need to select the key store path. And this is a password file. First, you will create this file and save it on your computer. And then when you create an APK file, you will select it from your computer. And I'll show you how to create this file in the next video. So I'll click, choose Existing, and select this file from my computer because I've created this file before, as I just said. And then after that, I just write the password of the file, define the password when I created this file, hang in there. So this is the first section. When we create an APK file, there are two password sections. The first one is for all of the applications. It's a password file that I will show you how to create in the next video. But the second one is special for every application's APK file. For this application, I will create a new one. And I will just click here and select Create a New Key. And I need to give it a name, right? Give a name to this password key. So I'll name it, well, it'll just be To-Do List Project. Now, after that, I will need to define a password for this key. Now, this is very important. If you forget this password, you will not update your application in Google Play again. Because when you upload an updated APK, Google Play will check its password. If it's not the same, Google Play will not accept your APK file. So I advise you to write this password somewhere. Keep it safe. And just in case you're wondering, this password is valid for 25 years. Just so you know. So now I need to write some information here. At least I need to fill in one space. And click OK. So now I have a to-do list project key and its password. Now you can check, remember password. If you check this checkbox, it will remember your password for creating an APK file. Again, this password is very important. I have a password file with its password and a password key with its password. Okay, so now click Next. And now there are two options, debug and release. So debug, of course, is for testing your APK. Not going to use it right now, so I'm going to select release. Now in here, we can choose where to save the generated APK file. And I'm going to choose a file, and we have a folder named To-Do List Project. So in this folder, there's an app folder, and in the app folder, there is a build folder, and I will create a new folder in the build folder. Its name will be Release. Android Studio will save this APK file in this release folder. So if I click Finish, Android Studio will create this APK file. But before clicking Finish, I want to go back to the top. So if I select APK section and not the bundle, what will happen? If you create an APK file, you can publish it in other platforms as well. For example, the Amazon Marketplace, or there are some APK sites. People download from these sites all the time, and they download APK files. Android devices can take AP files from the outside as well, not just from Google Play. So I will select APK and click Next. And this part is the same, so I'll click Next. And this part is also the same, so I will click and select Release. So the difference here is in these checkboxes. So I will check 2 of them and click Finish. So now Android Studio is producing an APK file. Android Studio will write all of the features in this APK file. So this can take some time according to your computer speed and the size of the file. But for now, mine is finished. Android Studio generated an APK file. So let's look at this file in the folder. It's under the C, Users, Android Studio Projects, To-Do List Project, App, and Release folder. And this is the APK file. So now I can publish this APK file on Google Play. So what do you think? We learned how to create the APK file in this video. But stay tuned. We've got some more info in the next video. Signing the APK file. Hello, everyone. We will learn how to sign your APK file with an encrypted file and how to create this encrypted file in this particular video. So let's go to Android Studio and see it in practice. Of course, we learned how to create an APK file. So I will click Build, Generate, Sign APK. Then I will select APK or App Bundle and click Next. Okay, so here we will create a new password file. Now in the previous video, I used the password file that I created before. So this time I do want to create a new one. And I will click Create New. So first we need to define where we will save this file. So this is an encrypted file, and you will need to save this on your computer. I mean, it's not just a keyword and a password, right? So this is a JKS extension file. So where you save this file is so very important, because if you delete this file, or it's deleted by accident or some other happenstance, you will not be able to update your application again. Even if you create a new file, it will not be useful. You will create this file just one time, and you can use this file for all of your applications. So I will advise you, you should be able to save this file in the cloud, at least in 3 places. Because if your computer has a problem, it will not update your application again, right? So keep it safe. So here I will select a folder and I will give it a name. Let's call this, the name can be password example. So you can, give it whatever name you want. So then I'm going to create a password. Now this, of course, is important as well, because if you forget the password, there is no reset password option. So this alias section is the second part, and you will create this password key and the password for this APK file. So when you create another APK file, you will create this second part again, because the second part, the password key and the password, are different for every application. So I will write to-do list for the key, and I will write a password for this key. And this password is valid for 25 years. And also, I'm going to fill in at least one space and click OK. Now, the password.jsk file is ready. Now, I've also defined a password for this file. Key alias is to-do list. And there's another password for this alias part. And the second part is different for every application. So after that, when I click Next, it will continue. Okay, so now we have come to another yet very so important part. You will create this file just one time, and you can use this file for every application. So this is an encrypted file. Now, I want to show this file to you. I will open the Save folder, and here's the file. Now, you can take this file from here and save it to another folder, or you can send this file to your drive, but keep it safe. And remember. So we have learned how to sign your APK file in this video. I want to see you in the next video. Google Play Developer Account. Hello, everyone. We will learn how to open a Google Play Developer account if you don't have one already. You will use this account to publish your application on Google Play. You will need to open an account in this platform. So after that, you can publish your application APK file on Google Play. So first, we will open Google Chrome. Second, you will need a Gmail account. If you don't have a Gmail account, where have you been? You will need to create one. Then you just sign in with your Gmail account. The Gmail account, of course, is vital these days because you will use this Gmail account everywhere. If you publish a paid application, for instance, you will receive your money from Google Play using this Gmail account. Or if you add Google Ads into your applications, you will get your advertising revenue with this Gmail account. So you will use this Gmail account everywhere. All right, so I signed in with a Gmail account, and then I'll write Google Developer Account on Google. And then I'll click on this link. So this link will open the Google Developer Account page. And I'll click on the Sign In button. So after that, this page opens, and there are 4 steps. And now we will accept the developer agreement. You should read the agreement and check the Accept checkbox. So after that, you can click Continue Payment button. Now, the developer fee is €25, and you will pay this fee just one time. It's not an annual or a monthly fee, and you can publish as much as you want and as many applications as you need to, as you want to, using this particular account. So when you click on Continue to Payment button, this credit card page will open, and you can write your credit card details in here. I'm not going to continue on from here because I already have an account and I've already paid my fee. So I will use that account after this, but I did want to show it to you for that reason. So after you have created your account, you can sign in with your account and get to this page and go from here. So that's how to open a Google Developer account. And we will publish our application in the next video. So I hope to see you there. Release your application. Hello, everyone. We will learn right now how to publish your application on Google Play in this video. So, as a result of some pretty great efforts, right? I mean, you really need to pat yourself on the back. You've made it this far. You've got a great application. You can publish your application on Google Play. You can be a registered developer for Android. So we opened the Google developer account in the previous video. So now I will go to the Google Play developer page. So this is the Google Play developer account. Your account page will look like this, except you will not see this application information because you've not published anything yet. So I published 7 applications, and this is information about my applications. So after you created your developer account, you will see this Google Play console page. And there are some menu options here, such as all applications, game service, download report, and so on. And I'll click on Create Application button, and it will open this page. Default language, English. Now you can also support other languages on this page as well. So then you need to give a title to your application here. And what will I do? I'll write to-do list and click on the Create button. And then this page will open. So first you will need to write a brief explanation of your application in this section. When users will be searching for applications on Google Play, they will see your application title as well as this explanation. And I'll write some explanation here. You can write whatever you like. You can even have written it beforehand and just copy and paste it here. So after that, you're going to write a full description of your application. So that means that when the users want to learn more information before they download your application, they will read this explanation. You know how it works. You've been there. So now you need to add an icon of your application. So this icon size has to be 512 by 512 pixels. And this is the icon that the users will see. Title and brief explanation on Google Play the first time with your application. Now I've already prepared an icon before, so I will add this icon and continue. After you load your icon, you can see what it will look like on Google Play. All right, so in this section, you will need to add screenshots of your application. Now you have to add at least 2 screenshot photos. If you have tablet screenshots, you can add them as well. If you develop for other devices, you can use those screenshots too. Now I've prepared 2 screenshots for this. I will select these 2 photos and add them here. And then after that, you need to bring a big size photo of your application here. So this is also a necessary field. This photo size has to be 1024 by 500 pixels. And I've already prepared this photo, so I'm going to add this photo. Now I'm using the same photo every time. You don't have to use the same photo. Also, I changed the size of the photo every time, and it, of course, doesn't look that good in the photo, but you really should use some really good images, of course, and the exact sizes for your applications, because this part is also about marketing your application. I'm just showing you how to do it. not an example of aesthetics. All right, so I added this photo too. Now, if you want, you can add an introduction video, some gameplay or something, whatever. Of course, this to-do list is not a game, but you know what I mean. First, you will upload your video on YouTube, and then you can just write in its link or copy and paste it here. So that way people can watch this video right here on this page. Okay, so after this is complete, you will need to select the type of your application. And of course, there are two options, games and applications. You can choose one of them according to the type of your application. Of course, I will select the applications option. So now you need to select a category. So you can select one of them, and I will select lifestyle, I guess. Now, if you have a website for your particular application, you can write its address here. And you will need to write a mail address here. It's also a necessary part so that the users will see this email address and can send you email about your application using this address. You can use a particular or special email address in this part. It's up to you. And you can write a phone number in this field. This one is not necessary, but this part is important. So you need to prepare a privacy policy and publish it on the web. After that, you need to write its address in this field, and you can do that using Google Drive. So the privacy policy can change according to your application. You can prepare this with a lawyer, but also you can read the user data policy section and prepare it yourself. So for now, I will check not submitting a privacy policy URL at the current time section. Okay, so now this part is ready, so I'll click on Save Draft. So this is the first part. The store listing is checked. We need to finish these 3 parts to publish our application. So to continue, we will need to upload an APK file. And I will click APK Release section. And of course, it gives us some options here. You can release an alpha or beta version of your application. And then after you publish these versions, you can publish the production APK file. We will publish production APK directly. We will click on the Manage button. Then I will click on the Release button. And then I will click on the Continue button. And now I can upload the APK file into this section. And I'll just click Browse File and find APK. And now it's uploading. Now, it did not upload the file. Why? Because Google Play does not accept com.example package name. So we need to change the package name. So I did this because I want to show you how to change the package name and why it's important. So now you know why it's important. So let's go to Android Studio. And you can see here the package name. So I'm going to change it. And I will click Android section and select Project Source File. And you can see the package name under the source folder. So I'm going to change example folder name, and I will right click on the example folder and select Refactor, Rename. Then I will click on Rename Package button and change package name. I'll write company as a package name. You can write whatever you want. And I'll click on the refactor button. Okay, then I'll click on the refactor button again. And now the package name is changed. And then I will change its name from the Gradle file and click the Sync Now button. I can rebuild the project again. Now, if you do this part, you won't have a problem in the next part. After that, I need to create a signed APK file again. And of course, you know the process. So I don't have to explain this part right now, right? And everything is the same. And then after Android Studio finishes the build, I will go back to Google Play Console again. And I'll click on Upload Another APK File button. And then I will click on the Browse File button, select New APK File. And now you can see that it is uploading the APK file. Excellent. So the APK file has uploaded successfully. Now, if you notice here, it gave the 1.0 code automatically. So if you want, you can change this code. You can write something about new features of your application. I'm not going to write anything here. And then I will click on the Save button, and then I'll click on the Review button. And you can see here, Start Rollout, the production button is not clickable because we have to finish these sections. So I'll click on Content Rating. And you have to write an email address here. And you do have to confirm it. Not just anybody can get through these steps, right? So after that, you need to select your app category. I will select the entertainment category. And you need to read these explanations and select your application category according to these explanations. So after that, you need to explain and answer some of these questions about your application. You'll need to answer honestly these questions because it will rate your application, and then people will be able to download your application according to this rating. So if you answer these questions without being honest, you will be punished. Won't get into that now, but just know there are consequences. So you can read these questions carefully and answer as honestly as you can. And then you can click on Save Questionnaire, and it will save your answers. Now, click on the Calculate Rating button. And my application rating is Peggy 3. I will click on Apply Rating, and now the content rating is checked. So after that, I will go to the App Content section. And to continue on to this section, I will need to finish the Pricing and Distribution section. I'll first go to the Pricing section. And first I have to select the application type. Is my application free or is it paid? This is important because if you select the free option, you will never be able to change it. I'm going to select free. And then you will choose in which countries you want your application to be published. And I'm just going to select all of the countries because I want to publish my application to the entire planet. And then I will select whether the application contains ads or not. And I'm going to select no. Now, if you want to add ads, you can change this option later. So after this, it's optional. And you can read and select some options. And now I'm going to click on the Save Draft button. Now, there are some missing points, and I will check them and then click the Save Draft button again. All right, so now pricing and distribution gone through. They're all checked. After that, I'm going to go to the app content section, and I will select target age group in this section. And if you select the under 13 age group, you have to add a privacy policy. So I'll check above the age of 18 and then click on the next button. After that, you'll need to decide whether your application will be shown to children or not. So you need to read this part very carefully and click according to your particular answer. Right now, I'm just going to click no and then click on the next button. And now you can review your answers and click the submit. So now the app content section is ready. And I can go to the app release section. And I will click on Edit Release. Then I'll click on the Review button. Now it's time to celebrate. So after you click this button, your application will be published to Google Play, and people around the world will be able to download it. So that's how you publish applications on Google Play. I've got some great stuff coming up in the next video, so I want to see you there. Math Game Part 1. Hello, everyone. So we're going to start a second project in this video. So you've come to the right place. This project is a math game. So the main logic of the game is to make the user add, subtract, multiply. There's multiplication exercises. The user will choose a category from a list such as addition, and the user will answer questions about addition. So you can think of this game for like primary school children. When the question displays, the user will answer the question in a specific amount of time. So then the user has lives, let's just say 3 for now. And the user will also get points for every correct answer, right? So after the user puts in the answer, the user will then click OK button, and also there's another button. So this button is the next question button. So when the user clicks on this button, another question will be asked. So this can be an endless game. The game will continue as long as the player answers correctly. Also, the questions need to come up randomly. So let's go to Android Studio and start the project. So I will create a new project. Oh, but before I start, I want to show you the finished version of this project on a virtual device. So let me just open the project again. Project is open, and there are 3 options: addition, subtraction, and multiplication. If you want, you can also add division, but keep in mind the target audience here. So when I click on addition, a new game will open, and up pops a question. So the user will write the answer here, and when the user clicks OK, it will check the answer, and it will determine if it's true or false. Also, time is ticking. Player has 60 seconds to answer the question. Now, also the player has 3 lives, so if the player gives 3 wrong answers, the game will finish. That's it. It's not the end of the world or nothing. It's just the game finishes. So let's answer this question. 15 plus 49 equals 64. And I'll just write 64 here, click OK. And after I click OK, the game checked the answer and writes here, congratulations, your answer is true. Also, it adds my score 10. So now I'll click on the next question button. And after I click on the next question, the game displays another question. So this time, let me just show you what happens when I give the wrong answer. So I'll write an answer in here and click OK. All right, so then this time it checked my answer and wrote, sorry, your answer is wrong. Now also, if you notice, my life decreased by 1. This pauses the clock and my score remains the same. So I'll click on next question and it asks me another question. So I'll give the correct answer this time. And then the game will continue this way until I answer 3 questions wrong. So let me just quickly give the wrong answers to the questions. And now my life is 0. So after I click on the next question button, a toast message will be displayed, and message is game over. And then after that, a new page will open. And then on this page, I can see my score. Now, if you notice, there are 2 buttons. The first one is the play again button. And if I click on this button, guess what? It will go to the first selection page. And the second one is the exit button. If I click on this button, the game will close. So I'm going to click on the play again button, and the first page opens, right? Also, I want to mention that when I click the button, it takes time to action. Why is that? It's not a real phone, right? This is a virtual device. It uses a computer memory. It's going to run a bit slower. If you run this game on a real device, it will not work as slowly as this. And this problem is not because of the application, it's because of the device. So let's start to develop this game. First, I want to create a new project. I will click on File, New Project. Then I will choose an empty activity and click on Next. So let me give a name to this project. I'm going to call it Math Game. And look at that. Android Studio gives a package name automatically. So I'll change this package name though, because Google Play doesn't accept example package name, if you recall. So I'm going to write company instead of example. You can write whatever name you want. Programming language is Java. Minimum API level is 15. So that means that this game will work on 100% of Android devices that are out there on the marketplace. So when I click on the Finish button, Android Studio will create this project. But before I click on Finish, I'm going to change the project name because I already have a project from before with the same name, right? So I'm going to write Math Game Project and click on the Finish button. So now my new project is open. And we will design a math game with this project. So I think that's enough for this video. We're going to continue in the next video. So I want to see you there. Math Game Part 2. Hello everyone, we're going to continue to develop the Math Game application in this video. Now if you remember, the last time we created a new project. So in this video, we're going to develop the application from the beginning. So first I'm going to click on this eye icon. And this will show me what my design is going to look like on the phone itself. So we will design the first page first. So I want color matching between the application and the toolbar. So because I want that, I will change the toolbar color. I'll change the toolbar color from Styles. And I'll open the Styles page under the Res folder. So these two color codes define color of these two parts of the phone. I don't want to use these colors. I will define a new color. Now, I prepared a color code before, so I want to use this code. Now, if you want, you can search on the internet for Android XML color codes and select another color and use that. I'm just going to copy this code and paste it here instead of these two color codes. And after I paste this color code, the toolbar color of the application will change. So now if I go to the main activity, you can see the difference. All right, so now this part's changed. So this part is also changed, but you can see it when you run it. And after that's done, now I'm going to add 3 pictures into the application folder. I'm going to use these pictures as a background image. And I prepared these images before. Of course, you can use whatever image you want. I'll just copy these 3 images and paste them under the drawable folder. Now, these 3 pictures are in the project, so I can use them. Now, there are going to be 3 activities in the project, and I'll use 3 images for these activities. So I'll just open these images for you. They are and will be used for background images. Okay, so now we can start to develop the first page. I'll go to the XML page and delete constraint layout. I will write linear layout instead of that, and also I will change the orientation of the linear layout to vertical. And now let me just select the first image for the background. So I'm going to go back to the design page, and then I'll add 3 buttons here. And I'll select 3 of them together, pressing Control on the keyboard. And I'll change the layout width of these buttons to 200 dp. Layout height of these buttons can be 75 dp. And the background color of these buttons can be blue. Of course, it can be a lighter blue. It's up to you. And let me give some space between the buttons. I will go to the layout margin section and write 20 dp to the layout margin top. Now I need to place these buttons in the center. I'll select linear layout and click on the gravity section. And then I will select center horizontal. Now also I want to give more space to the first button. I'm going to select the first button and go to the layout margin. Then I will change the layout margin top from 20 dp to 75 dp. After that, I will add the text of these buttons. So I'll write for the first button, addition. Now, whatever I write here, it will be capital because this is part of that button component. Android Studio automatically uses capital letters with that button component. And the second button, subtraction. Third button, multiplication. Great. So after that, I'm going to give IDs to these buttons. And I'll write in for the first button, button add. Second button, button sub. And for the third button, button multi. Now, when I click on the addition button, I want the addition game page to open, right? So I'm going to need to create this page. I will create a new activity, and I will select new activity, empty activity. Name of this activity can be game, and the other part will stay the same. Click Finish, and Android Studio created game activity. So I'm going to design this page later, but what I wanted to do was when I click on Addition, this game page should open. So I need to do this. I give it a name as name to this game activity, but actually you will need to create 3 activities for this game. One for addition, one for subtraction, one for multiplication. And of course, you'll need to name each instance, game addition, game subtraction, and game multiplication seems to work well. So if the user clicks on the subtraction button, game subtraction will open. And if the user clicks on the multiplication button, game multiplication will open. So I'll just close game activity and I'll design it later. Right now I want to go over to the Java page. So I need to define these buttons on the Java page. I will write button addition, button subtraction, and button multi. Then in the onCreate method, I will write addition equals find view by ID r.id.button add. Subtraction equals find view by ID r.id.button sub. Multi equals find view by ID r.id.button multi. And then after that, I will add a click listener to all 3 of these buttons. And I'll write addition.set on click listener new view on click listener. And inside the onClick method, I'll create an intent to open another activity. Intent equals new intent. And the new intent will take 2 parameters. First one is main activity dot this. Second one is game dot class. Then start activity intent. Now, if I click on this button, the second activity will open. So we can run the application to see if it works. Application opens, first page is ready. I'll click on the addition button, and look at that, the second page is open. Now, we haven't designed a second page, so it's empty. But you can see this page in Android Studio under the Layout folder. So if I open this activity, you can see that it's empty. But you know what? There's something to do in the next video. So we're going to design this page then. I'll see you in the next video. Math Game Part 3. Hello everyone, so we're going to continue to develop this math game application. Now in the last video, if you remember, we finished the first page, so now we're going to develop the second page. So this is the game page, and we will design this page in this video. Now on the first line, we have a score, a life, and the timer. Second line, we have the question text, and we will ask questions in this text view to the user. Now on the third line, there is another edit text, and the user will write the answer in this text. So, the last line, there are two buttons, and these are OK and next question buttons. So let's start to design the page. So I'm going to go to the XML page and change constraint layout to linear layout. Then I'll change its orientation to vertical. And I'm going to change the background. So I will select the second image as a background image. I'll just go to the design page. Now first, I will add another linear layout. This time it's going to be horizontal. And this will be the first line. I will add 6 text views in this horizontal layout. Three of the 6 are for the labels, and the other 3 are for changing numbers such as time, score, and life. I'll change the text of the text view first, so I will write score. And I will write 0 into the second text of text view, and I'll write life in the third text view. And now I will write 3 into the fourth text view because I am generous and I'm going to give 3 lives to the user. So because of this, I wrote the 3. If you want to give more lives because you're more generous than I am, you can, of course, write another number. So I'm going to write time into the 5th text view. And the last one will be 60. Because I'm going to give 1 minute to the user to answer the question correctly. All right, so now that's done, I will select these 6 text views by pressing the Control key, and I will change the common properties at the same time. So I'm going to change the text color of the text view, and I'll use white. And then I will add 1 text view and 1 edit text view in the vertical linear layout. And I added text view, but it does not appear because the layout height of the horizontal layout is match parent. Remember that? So right now I'm going to change it to wrap content. There it is. Perfect. All right, so now I have 1 text view and 1 edit text view. And I will change the layout width and height of this text view, and it will be 200 dp by 100 dp. Also, I will change the text color of this text view to white. text size of the text view can be bigger, so I'm going to select 24. And also I need to place this text right into the center here. So I want to select this text view and go to gravity. And then I will check the center checkbox. All right, so now the text is in the center. So after that, I'm going to select Edit Text. And then I will change the layout width and the height of edit text. It can be 200 dp by 50 dp. Also, I'm going to change the text color of the edit text to white as well. Now I'm going to add a hint to this edit text so the user will know where to write the answer. The hint then can be, please write your answer here. And I will give some space between text view and edit text. And I will select text view and go to the layout margin. And I'll write 20 dp to the layout margin top. And then I will select edit text and write 20 dp as well. All right, now that's done. I'm going to place these two components into the center. And I'll select vertical main linear layout and go to gravity. And I'll check center for my horizontal checkbox. So the two components are centered horizontally now, and the user will write the answer right here. But the layout width of the edit text is not enough because the hint is not exactly visible, I would say. So I'm going to change it to 250. Okay, that's better. All right. So now that's done, I'll need to add two buttons. And I will add another linear layout. And it will be horizontal layout. And I'll add two buttons in this layout. After that, I'll change the background color of these buttons. So I'll select these two buttons and change the background color to blue. And then I'll give some extra space around these buttons. And I'll go to the layout margin. Layout margin right can be 20 dp. Layout margin left can also be 20 dp. And the top of the layout margin can be 30. And now I'm going to change the text of these buttons. First one will be okay. Second one will be next question. Okay, so now the design is ready. So now I'll need to give IDs to these components. ID of the score text view can be text view score. ID of the life text view can be text view life. ID of the time text view can be text view time. ID of the question text view can be text view question. ID of the answer edit text can be edit text answer. ID of the OK button can be button OK. ID of the next question button can be button next. So the IDs of the components are now ready. So what do we do now? We will need to write Java code of the game. You ready? Okay, so for example, how will the questions, get to the user? How are they going to appear? Or how will we count down the time from 60 to 0? Or how will the score increase if the answer of the user is correct? All these kinds of questions we won't do in this video. We will do it in the next. So I want to see you there in the next video. Math Game Part 4. Hello, everyone. So we're going to continue to develop this math game in this video. I hope you can see how it's coming together. And if you put yourself in a user's frame of mind, you can see how this will be fun and enjoyable. So in the last video, we designed the game page. In this video, we're going to write the game code on the Java side. So let's go over to the Java page and start her up. So first, I will define the components on the Java page. So we have 6 text views. Now I gave IDs to 3 of them because I will use these 3 text views. And I'm not going to do any operations with the other 3 text views. Those are just for the labels. So I'm going to define these 3 text views here. First one is score, text view score. Second one is life, text view life. Third one is time, text view time. So also I have a question text view, and we will write questions on this text view. Text view question. I have one edit text. The user will write the answer in it. Edit text answer. Now we have 2 buttons. The first one is the OK button, and it will check the user answer with a correct answer. Buttons OK. Second one is next question button, and it will bring up the next question. Button next question. Okay, so now after that, I will continue to define in the onCreate method score equals find view by ID r.id.textViewScore. Life equals find view by ID r.id.textViewLife. Time equals find view by ID r.id.textViewTime. Question equals find view by ID r.id.textViewQuestion. Answer equals find view by ID r.id.editTextAnswer. OK equals find view by ID r.id.button OK. Next question equals find view by ID r.id.button next. Okay, so those are the defining of the components. So that's finished. Yeah, so after this, we will add a click listener to these buttons. Just these 2 though. So OK dot set on click listener, new view on click listener. Next dot set on click listener, new view on click listener. Right, so that's the click listeners added. So now we need to ask a question of the user. So what do you think? How are we going to generate questions? Well, first I'll need to write a method, and this method will contain the game logic. And the method name can be game continue for me. You can give it any name you want. Of course, it's up to you. It's your game. But this method will be void method. So public void game continue. So after that, we need numbers for the game, so we need to generate numbers. Now there is the random class in Java. This class generates random numbers. I think that's just going to be terrific to use this class to generate numbers. Makes sense to me. Random equals new random. Okay, great. So now I can generate numbers continuously using this random object. I can also define the boundaries. I can generate integer, double, or long numbers using this random class. But for this, I think I will generate only integer in this particular game. So that means I need 2 integer containers to hold these numbers. Int number 1, int number 2. I will generate numbers in the game continue method. Number 1 equals random dot next int. So when I write this code, the random class will generate an integer number randomly and then assign this number to the number 1 container. But I'm going to need to define the boundaries. If I don't define the boundaries, it can produce a really huge number, right? So I do want to produce a number between 0 and, 100, let's say. So because of this, I will write 100 in parentheses. Number 1 will be an integer number between 0 and 100. So this part is particularly important because it will produce another number every time randomly generated. So even the programmer, me, I'm not going to know what number it will generate, right? So let's do the same thing for the second number. Number equals random dot next int, and the boundary will be 100. Now, of course, if you want to, you can change the boundaries to be between, 50 and 200 or 0 and 50, whatever. But just remember the boundaries are important. Alrighty, so after that's done, I'll need to write these numbers into the question text view. Question.setText, number 1 plus number 2. So the plus sign in the quotation marks is to show this sign in text view. So now the numbers will be shown in the question text view. The user will see this question and write the answer in the edit text. Now, after the user clicks on the OK button, we will get that user's answer and check it against the correct answer, right? So we're going to continue in the OK button click listener method. So when the user clicks on the OK button, first we will take the user's answer from the edit text. Now to do this, I will need another integer container. This will be int user answer. So now I can take the answer that the user writes, user answer equals answer dot get text dot to string. This answer is now a string. So I can take it from the edit text as a string, and I will need to convert it to integer. To do that, I'll just write integer dot value of and put the whole sentence inside the value of parentheses. After that, I will check the user answer and the correct answer, which means I'm going to need another integer container for the correct answer. Int real answer. Now I will use the real answer in the game continue method. Real answer equals number 1 plus number 2. So now I can check the user answer and the correct answer. Now there are two conditions here. If the user answer equals the correct answer, I will do something, and that means user answer is correct. Else, I will do something. That means the user answer is wrong. Okay, so if the user answer is correct, first I'm going to increase the score, and that means I will need an integer for the score. Int user score equals 0. Initial value will be 0. User score equals user score plus 10. And that means I will give 10 points for every correct answer. Okay, so now we need to say to the user that the answer is correct. And I'll write this on the question text view. Question.setText. Congratulations. Your answer is true. Now, if the user gives a wrong answer, first we need to decrease the user life. So that means I need an integer for user life. Int user life equals 3. And that means that the user will have 3 lives, and its life will decrease 1 for every wrong answer. User life equals user life minus 1. And also, I'll need to say to the user that the answer is wrong. Sorry, your answer is false. Okay, so now we can ask the questions of the user. And if the user gives a correct answer, we can take the user answer and check it. So why don't we run the application and see how far we've gotten, see what happens, shall we? All right, so the application opens, and I'll click on the addition button. Gameplay is open. Not working. Don't get disappointed yet, or, well, at all. Don't get disappointed, because we did not call the game continue method from anywhere. So let's call the game continue method first in the onCreate method. So when it opens, it will work from the start. So let's run the application again. Application opens. And I'll click on the addition button. And what do you know? The game is working. So the game has asked a question. So let's give an answer to the question. I will give the correct answer. And click the OK button. So after I click on the OK button, the game checked my answer and the correct answer and wrote in the text view, "Congratulations, your answer is true." Look at that. After the score has increased by 10. But wait a minute, it didn't write the score because we have not done that part yet. We will need to write new score in the score text view. So score.setText user score. And now you know the score is an integer value. And I added the quotation marks before the score. And it will convert the score to a string value. Also, we need to write the user life on the life text view if the user gives a wrong answer. Life.setText user life. All right, so let's run the application again. And the application is opened, and I will click on the addition button. The game is open, and you can see that the game asks a different question every time because it generates questions randomly. So this time I'm going to write the wrong answer. And when I enter the wrong answer, it wrote, "I'm sorry, your answer is wrong." And also, look at that, my life has decreased by 1. So my new life is written in the life text view. So now if I click on the next question button, it should ask me a new question, right? But the button doesn't work yet. Why? I know, because we haven't done it yet. So it's too easy, right? So I'll just call the game continue method in the next question button. So this is game logic. You will write the game conditions in the game continue method, and then every time you call it, the game will work. So in this game, every time that I click on the next question button, a new question will be asked. So why don't you just run the game again? And the application's open again. I will click on the addition button. And what do you know? The game is working. It asks a question. And I'll enter the correct answer. So now when I click on the OK button, it wrote, "Your answer is true." Also, the score is written on the score text view. So if I click on the next button, it's going to ask me a new question. So every time I click on the next question button, the edit text should be deleted because my old answer is still there. Okay, so I'm going to do that later. I will answer the new question. Alrighty, so now my score is 20, and I will click on the next question button again. I'll answer the wrong answer this time. Click OK. All right, see, so it decreased by 1. So now I have 2 lives now. So what do we do after that? We need to create a timer. So before we create the timer, I want to clean up the edit text so that after the user clicks on the next question button, answer.setText quotation marks. So this will clean the edit text. And after that, call the next question. So you know what? Let's end this video now, and we will continue in the next video, and we will create the timer. I promise. I'll see you in the next video.